Coming up on Citrus TV News live at 6, hundreds of thousands in the Northeast remain powerless from this week's snow and ice storms.
Joe Biden for president or not?
Rain is expected to fall on the drought-ridden West Coast.
And Jay Leno says goodbye to The Tonight Show. Citrus TV News starts right now.
A passenger aboard Pegasus Airlines attempted to hijack a plane with the intentions of flying it to Sochi. I'm Amanda Harry.
And I'm Irfan Uraizee. Despite security concerns that have plagued the Games over the past few weeks, the 2014 Winter Olympics are finally underway. That's our top story tonight. After much anticipation, the 2014 Winter Olympics finally opened in Sochi, Russia this morning. The ceremony opened around 8 in the evening in Russia. The focus of the ceremony is said to be on Russia's renowned classical music. Unlike the recent Summer Games in London, which featured a variety of world-known pop performers, the ceremony will be broadcast on NBC tonight at 7:30. This is the world's costliest Olympic Games to date. And athletes arrived at the Games yesterday amid concerns about security, and already a threat has taken place. Earlier this afternoon, aboard a Pegasus airline plane headed for Turkey, a passenger claimed there was a bomb aboard and asked the plane to land in Sochi. The passenger said the bomb was in the baggage hold. Immediately after the threat, the plane put out a hijacking signal and landed in Istanbul, Turkey. Police and security officials swarmed the plane, searching for a bomb while buses transported passengers to safety. The alleged hijacker is said to be of Ukrainian nationality.
Resume help is available anytime at Career Services, but Citrus TV's Caroline Strange went to today's Resumania to find out what makes this event so special.
One of the questions that students often ask is, how can I improve my resume? And with a career fair right around the corner, students are taking advantage of the Career Center in Shine to make sure their resume is ready. Freshman Sam Usim wants to make sure he stands out to employers.
I wanted to spice up my resume.
The Center for Career Services has regular drop-in hours where students can have a counselor look over their resume with them and help correct mistakes. However, Resumania gives them that opportunity with employers.
If you're applying for a certain kind of job, like in engineering or something, that type of resume looks different than a business resume. So they bring employers in from the specific job types, and they can look at your resume and tell you if that's what that type of job would look for in a resume, and if that's attractive to them. And so that's different from a counselor who has a good overall view of what a resume should look like.
Building a resume that will stand out to employers can be difficult. Graduating senior Shannon O'Connor knows this all too well.
I had an experience at the last career fair where I walked up to the Macy's person for a leadership experience opportunity, and I was like, I've worked at Saks on Fifth Avenue, I'm your girl, here's my resume. And she pointed out 5 mistakes in my resume right in my face, and I was just like, okay, thank you, but I could tell I had totally lost it.
O'Connor wants to make sure that incident doesn't happen again. Caroline Strange, Citrus TV News.
Career Services is using the hashtag SU Career Week to promote Career Week events such as Resumania, diversity in the workplace, and the career fair.
Here's what not to do this Valentine's Day. A Cortland County man is being charged with a misdemeanor for putting his ex-girlfriend's guitar in a snowbank. The man was arrested Wednesday and released without bail. He is set to appear in court on February 12th for charges of criminal mischief. And officers confiscated a duffel bag containing an active methamphetamine from a man on Tuesday in the city of Rome. The man escaped to a nearby wooded area but was eventually arrested in a vacant apartment. He is being charged with unlawful manufacture of methamphetamine and criminal possession of a controlled substance.
One student is in the hospital after smoke inhalation from a fire in a Cornell dorm room. A passerby saw flames coming from a third-floor window at 1 o'clock this morning. The fire was contained to one room, but heavy smoke spread to several floors. The entire building was evacuated. Another adult has died from the H1N1 virus in Madison County. This is the 7th reported death from the flu in central New York this season. There have been 4 reported deaths in Onondaga County alone. Health officials urge people to get flu vaccinations and to stay home if they're sick. Snow-related power outages persist for many across the Northeast.
But snow hasn't put a damper on SU's growing reputation as a party school. More after the break.
After 9 inches of snow on Wednesday, a lot of people are saying they're tired of this winter weather. However, there's more snow on the way, so stay tuned for your full weather forecast coming right up.
New York. A boy was born into an all-American family. The odds of him achieving his dream in the fashion industry? 1 in 23 million. The odds of having a child diagnosed with autism? 1 in 88. I am Tommy Hilfiger, and my family is affected by autism. Learn more at autismspeaks.org/signs.
I think someone at my friend's school has this thing called autism. My friend's brother's son has autism. My neighbor's son has autism. My son has autism.
Autism is getting closer to home. Today, 1 in 88 children is diagnosed with autism. That's a 1,000% increase in the last 40 years. Learn more at autismspeaks.org/signs.
Hey, I'm Anderson Cooper. As a parent, you want to make sure that your child knows how to deal with bullying when they see it happening. And chances are they want to help, but they don't really know how. Well, teach them that the best thing to do is calmly walk away, find a teacher or other adult, and speak up. And do your part. Be that adult they can talk to and trust will listen. Join me to help stop bullying. Go to stopbullying.gov to find out more.
Now it's time for This Week in Bad Stats.
Bad stats?
Horrible stats. Here goes. 132.
That's how many batters struck out 4 times in one game last season.
Wow, very good. Here's a tough one, though. 3 and 4.
No idea.
That's how many kids witness bullying. 3 out of 4.
That's not a good stat.
No, it's not, but it can change. Kids want to help, but they don't know how. Visit stopbullying.gov and give them the tools they need to help prevent bullying.
There are plenty of safe ways kids can help at stopbullying.gov.
SU's individual colleges are often nationally renowned for their academic programs and research, but overall many say SU's academic prestige is being overlooked by its party school image. Citrus TV's Nick Papantonis surveyed the campus to find out how students view their school.
With Saturday's big win over Duke, as well as bid day last week, a lot of attention has been given to Syracuse's reputation as a party school.
Does Syracuse deserve its party school reputation?
Yes, I think so. Yes, definitely. I can hear them partying from my dorm room every night.
Last weekend, several YouTube personalities and a British TV show visited the Marshall Street area to check out the party scene. Syracuse is currently ranked as the number 5 party school in the nation, according to the Princeton Review.
Syracuse University gets over 28,000 applications every year for our incoming freshman class. With so many students interested in our school, we wondered how the admissions office deals with the inevitable inquiries into our dubious distinction.
My answer to a party-related question would be, yes, there is partying that happens on our campus, and it is nationally recognized, I guess, but it's not the only thing that a student can be involved with here.
Syracuse has made strides in recent years to educate its student population about alcohol and drug abuse. All incoming freshmen are now required to complete an online anti-substance abuse class before arriving on campus. Nick Papantonis, Citrus TV.
A 6-day-old Wisconsin baby who disappeared from a home in the middle of the night was recovered safely outside a West Branch gas station earlier today. A woman who also vanished around the same time as the baby was arrested Thursday in Iowa on different charges. Baby Caden Powell was found by investigating police swaddled in a blanket in a tote bag. The baby was taken to a nearby hospital and is said to be in excellent condition. You might be hoping that the snow is over, and so are the power companies attempting to restore power to hundreds of thousands of homes in the Northeast. Despite cold temperatures, more than 1,500 workers from New York, Ohio, Canada, Illinois, and other states are working on downed power lines and other issues. The only problem that could arise is a possible 2 to 4 inches of snow that may fall this weekend.
Would you pass up on running for president just to drive your Corvette? Vice President Joe Biden says he can't come up with any other reasons besides that to not run for president. Despite a recent poll which places Biden far behind former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton, Biden said the decision will come down to whether or not he feels he's the most qualified. He says he will announce his final decision this summer. Ohio police are investigating what they believe to be a triple murder-suicide. Last night, 4 relatives were found dead in their home. Police believe it was Robert Garza who shot his wife, daughter, and granddaughter before taking his own life. According to Sheriff David Westrick, Robert Garza is believed to have health issues, but he would not elaborate further. And over the past few... We've gotten our fair share of snow, rain, sleet, and ice, and except for the university's half snow day, we weren't exactly happy about the precipitation.
But there's a much different reaction to the precipitation falling on the West Coast.
That's right, guys. Northern California hasn't been seeing the levels of precipitation that the Northeast has. In fact, officials say this is the first time this weather that enough rain has fallen for the trees and plants alone. Most of California has been dehydrated by severe drought conditions, forcing it to consider tapping into its reserve reservoir. The storm system moving through is known as the Pineapple Express and is likely to bring as much as 6 inches of rain to the area. So guys, we're lucky that those 6 inches of rain aren't falling here in Syracuse in the form of snow. And that brings us to our full weather forecast right now. Today we thankfully are snow free. We had some sun and clouds throughout the course of the day. Temperatures tonight will drop to a low of about 7 degrees. We have mild winds, 10 to 15 miles per hour, so that does make it feel a lot colder than it actually is. Moving on to tomorrow, we'll warm things up again with some more sun, partly cloudy throughout the day. High of 22, so temperatures aren't going up too much, but still it'll be a lot warmer than, last week when we had temperatures in the negatives, or a few weeks ago, Winds again at 10 to 15 miles per hour. And moving on, you can see the wind chill here, that we have mild variable winds up in Syracuse. Not too bad. Some colder negative winds moving in our direction, so that will hit us in over the course of the week. Thankfully, though, we are snow-free over the next 48 hours, but that's not going to last too long because moving on to our 5-day forecast, you can see that we have snow moving into Sunday, and that will continue on into Monday as well. But don't worry, sun will peek back through by the time we get to Tuesday, and temperatures will vary in the mid to lower 20s throughout the course of the full week before going up to 30 by Wednesday.
Leanne, I'm tired of trudging around the snow remnants that are on campus. Could it melt away tomorrow?
I don't think it'll be warm enough for it to melt away. The sun helps, especially with the roads, but things just get slushy, and that's even worse to walk to class in because I know I've slipped a few times.
So you mentioned classes. So Monday, how many inches of snow are we going to see from this Sunday into Monday snow?
Nothing crazy. It's going to probably be around 1 inch, 2 inches accumulation. It's just going to be flurries, and they'll continue over the course of those 2 days. I think further south is where the snow is really going to hit, which, New Jersey, they've been getting bombed with snow, so they're hoping nothing too bad. Hopefully it'll pass them too.
Great. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Up next, Syrian government leaders plan to meet with UN officials this month for another round of peace talks.
And a private funeral is held for actor Philip Seymour Hoffman. Stay with us.
Learning how to kickflip 6 stairs takes determination. So will getting into college. I've got what it takes. So do you.
Today, about 1 in 5 Americans is living with a disability. Over 50 million people, including many of our friends and neighbors, teachers and co-workers, heroes and leaders. 20 years ago, the Americans with Disabilities Act guaranteed every person the right to live, work, and participate fully in the American experience. We've come a long way since then. and we are committed to making even more progress in the years ahead. Visit disability.gov to see how you can help.
Cocina a la temperatura adecuada usando un termómetro para alimentos. Mantén tu familia a salvo. Visita foodsafety.gov/español.
The mysterious castaway man who turned up on the Marshall Islands last week is now out of the hospital. Jose Salvador Alvarenga, who survived 13 months adrift in the Pacific Ocean, was readmitted yesterday after he showed signs of his health deteriorating. Alvarenga's plans to return to his native El Salvador have been postponed. The Syrian government has agreed to another round of peace talks in Geneva. According to Syria's deputy foreign minister, restoring security and stability to Syria makes it necessary to discuss putting an end to terrorism and violence. This series of talks will build on what was established during the first round of talks held in January.
This has been the greatest 22 years of my life.
End of an era in late-night television, Jay Leno ended his reign as host of The Tonight Show last night after 22 years. Choking back tears, Leno took the stage one last time, making it his second final appearance as host of The Tonight Show. Leno invited Billy Crystal, who was his first guest ever, back for the finale and brought his career full circle with an ensemble of stars bidding him farewell. Jimmy Fallon will take over as the new host of The Tonight Show on February 17th. A private funeral was held this morning for actor Philip Seymour Hoffman. Family and close friends of the star, including Cate Blanchett, Amy Adams, and Meryl Streep, gathered to mourn Hoffman. Hoffman died on Sunday of an apparent drug overdose. A California woman known as Octomom is facing another count of welfare fraud. The Los Angeles District Attorney's Office said Wednesday that Nadia Solomon got nearly $10,000 in state medical benefits she was not entitled to. The state wants Solomon to pay roughly $26,000 in restitution. She faces a possible sentence of more than 6 years if convicted. Her next court appearance is scheduled for March.
Coming up on sports, we look ahead to Syracuse's game against the Clemson Tigers this Sunday. The women's team hit a big milestone last night in the Dome, and the opening ceremonies got underway with a little bit of a hiccup. But hey, it's Sochi. All that and more coming up next.
The average text takes your eyes off the road for nearly 5 seconds.
Welcome to my block party. Glad you can make it.
The only triple doubles you get come with fries.
Last time you blocked someone, you were online.
I can do this all day. Your moves are just gay.
Using gay to mean dumb or stupid, not cool.
Not cool.
Not in my house, not anywhere. It's not creative, it's offensive to gay people. And you're better than that.
This will be our first Sunday since September 8th that there will be no NFL football to watch. But have no fear, the #1 ranked team in the land is here. The Orange take on the Tigers of Clemson University, and boy are the Orange glad this isn't football. Clemson comes into this matchup winners of 2 straight and a not too shabby 6-3 in the ACC. The Orange, off their hard-fought win over Notre Dame, look to keep their record unblemished. This is the first and only time these two will meet this year. This is also Clemson's first time playing a _1 ranked team in the country since the 2008 ACC championship when they lost to North Carolina. Now to the women of Syracuse basketball, The Orange were looking for their 100th win in the Carrier Dome last night and were clad in pink on Play for K night in honor of legendary NC State coach Kay Yao. The Orange were not looking too orange with that pink highlighting in their jerseys, and here's Alexis Peterson getting the ball back with a little crossover move and drains the three-pointer, puts the Orange up big early on. Now the Hokies would come back and respond with a little jumper of their own from Uju Agoku. She led the way for the Hokies with 12, but with all said and done, the Orange go on to take this big victory, 73-48, their 100th win in the Carrier Dome. The Spurs without Tim Duncan, Tony Parker, and Manu Ginobili is pretty hard to imagine. But on Thursday night against the Nets in Brooklyn, the Big Three, along with their 4th leading scorer Kawhi Leonard, were all in street clothes and would be taking in the game from off the court. Tim Duncan and Kawhi Leonard sitting on the bench getting ready to watch this one. Early in the second, with the Nets trailing by 7, Darren Williams hits the deep 3 and gets the and 1. He would fall a little awkwardly on that ankle, but he would stay in the game. But the story of this one was Allen Anderson, who here, bodying up in the post, converts in the paint, nets up 7, and then just moments later for Anderson, this time he hits from beyond the arc for the Big 3. He led the way with the Nets with 22 on the night, and they would go on to beat the shorthanded Spurs 103-89. Now from the hardwood to the ice, and the Rangers came into Thursday's game on quite the roll, winners of 4 straight and 7 of their last 9. But the Oilers had some other ideas. Here we go with Derek Perrin with the shot, goes off goalie Henrik Lundqvist, and Ryan Smith, the former Los Angeles King, puts it in the back of the net. Oilers up 1. But the Rangers would respond. Here, Derek Brassard snipes one in the back of the net, ties it up at 1. Later on, with the one-timer, Nail Yakupov gets the puck up top, hits the quick one-timer, puts the Oilers up 1. They would go on to win 2-1, ending the Rangers' season-high 4-game winning streak. After all the talk about security concerns and poor conditions in Sochi, it's finally time for the Winter Olympics to begin. And I promise I won't play spoiler to the grand opening ceremonies that started around 11 a.m. Eastern time today, but maybe just a little. The ceremony got off to a little bit of a rocky start as only 4 out of the 5 Olympic rings materialized in the Russian night. The U.S. was led out by flag bearer Todd Lodwick, a Nordic combined skier, and looked oh so fashionable in their Made in America Ralph Lauren outfits for the opening ceremonies. They will begin their broadcast on NBC tonight at 7:30.
So, like you said, the Winter Olympics are starting up. What are your impressions of the Winter Olympics? What do you think is going to happen?
Well, so far with all the security concerns, I'm a little scared for our athletes' safety, but I'm really looking forward to some hockey. I really hope to see in the gold medal game the U.S. versus Canada, but you never know. And then also Sean White pulling out of slopestyle, but I hope he's ready for halfpipe. That should be a lot of fun to watch as well.
It's kind of big that he's a big competitor for the U.S. Now, the ACC is going to be playing more games against the SEC. What does that mean for Syracuse?
You know, Syracuse has played really well in football over the past 2 years, winning 2 straight bowl games. They're looking great, got some great recruits on signing day, but the SEC is an animal in itself. Too much speed for the Orange. It's going to be tough for them to compete if they do keep playing SEC teams.
So Syracuse plays Clemson in the Dome on Sunday. What do you think is going to happen?
You know, I think it's going to be a big win for Syracuse. They beat Notre Dame, obviously the big win over Duke. They're coming in with a lot of momentum. Clemson's a pretty good team in the ACC. They've surprised a couple people this year. They just don't shoot the 3 that well. And against a more talented Orange, you're going to need to hit 3s against that 2-3 zone. I don't think Clemson's able to. I think Syracuse gets the big win.
On the subject of basketball, we are undefeated still. What do you think that's going to end? Who do you think is going to break that undefeated streak for us?
You know, I'm worried because it's probably, we don't have a lot of big games left. We play Duke at Cameron Indoor. That's obviously one to look forward to. But really what it comes down to, I think, is a team that sneaks up, such as an NC State, a Boston College, who just has one of their great nights. They shut down our scorers like C.J. Fair and Trevor Cooney, and they make some 3s to beat the zone. that could be when we lose our first one.
Yeah, hopefully we can keep it going, though. Definitely.
I hope so.
Now, coming up after the break, a school student finds something slithering in his school lunch. Stay with.
Oh, it won't be your wake-up weather. Stay with us.
You realize that 49 million Americans struggle with hunger? That's 1 out of every 6 Americans. These people are around us every day. They're our friends, they're our coworkers, their kids go to school with our kids. Sometimes we're not even aware that they're struggling. This problem is closer than you think. So is the solution.
Play a role in ending hunger. Visit feedingamerica.org/hunger and find your local food bank.
Hi, my name's CJ. A few years ago, my father became seriously ill. I did what I could do before he passed, but it took its toll. I lost my job, my house. I'm getting back on my feet, but I don't know when there'll be food on the table. How'd I do, CJ?
We could be twins.
Well, cousins, maybe.
Play a role in ending hunger. Visit feedingamerica.org/hunger and find your local.
How you doing? My name's Steve. My family's lived in this neighborhood for years. Recently, things got so tight, we had to go to our local food bank for help. I lost a lot of sleep worrying about what the neighbors might think. That is until I saw them there, too. How'd I do, Steve?
A little stiff. You could have done a little better.
What? Come on. You know, I have an Academy Award.
Yeah, but not for playing me.
Play a role in ending hunger. Visit feedingamerica.org/hunger and find your local food bank.
Welcome to my block party. Glad you can make it.
The only triple doubles you get come with fries.
Last time you blocked someone, you were online.
I can do this all day. Your moves are just gay.
Using gay to mean dumb or stupid, not cool.
Not cool.
Not in my house, not anywhere. It's not creative, it's offensive to gay people. And you're better than that.
Ergo is like the French.
Yeah, so what can we expect when we wake up tomorrow?
Well, tomorrow morning it's going to be around 22 degrees, reaching a high throughout the day. We will see some sun, thankfully, peeking out from the clouds. We will see mild winds throughout the day, too, so it's going to make it feel a little bit colder than it actually is.
So with the polar vortex that we saw a couple times, are we going to see anything like that again, any cold temperatures in the negatives?
Yeah, it's definitely possible. Winter is still early. Groundhog Day said we have 6 more weeks of winter. So I know temperatures will dip down to about 19 degrees. 19 degrees on Tuesday with a low of 7 that night. So it's gonna be chilly.
Is there going to be another type of polar vortex where we just get a huge amount of snow? Or?
Well, like I said, those temperatures are going to dip down. We will see snow Sunday, and that'll just be like light variable snow flurries Sunday into Monday. But I wouldn't be surprised if we have another 9-inch snowstorm coming our way soon because it's Syracuse, and it's very possible.
Thank you again.
You're welcome.
Irfan, I've heard about people occasionally finding a piece of hair or a gnat in their food, but what about a snail?
A student found this little critter in his salad at school.
The school principal said they are taking the incident very seriously.
Really, over a snail?
Yeah, apparently snails can carry parasites which cause debilitating diseases like meningitis.
Well, luckily, we don't have snail problems up here in central New York. Needless to say, according to the principal, the cafeteria workers will need to be a little more thorough when cleaning those greeny, leafy veggies from now on.
I'm sure his appetite was escargot.
I mean, at least he had a great gift for show and tell, right?
Yeah, I'm sure he did.
Probably the coolest kid in the school at that point.
Sure, yeah, everyone probably loved him. And that's all we have for you tonight. I'm Amanda Harry.
And I'm Irfan Uraizee. Be sure to check out more Citrus TV content on citrustv.net, as well as our YouTube channel. Thanks for tuning in, and have a good night, Syracuse.